This follows my Union Pacific garage railway. The civil engineering to construct this track took some 2.5 years. These diagrams demonstrate how I built the moulds to precast concrete planks and to assemble them mounted on concrete columns sitting on top of angle irons driven to within 4 inches of the ground. To cope with the foliage along one fence, a series of 5 aluminium truss bridges were constructed at 3-foot intervals. These were covered with marine ply and a bitumen felt roof. To lay the track, the plastic sleepers were drilled and nailed down with brass sewing pins into the mixture of the track bed, and then the ballast was laid and stuck in place using diluted PVA glue. The tracks are supplied with a 12-volt DC power supply. Etched brass O-gauge kits were used to build 2 locomotives, 2 coaches and some wagons. Note, I decided to modify the column heads. And we finally finished the civil engineering now of the railway in September 2002. The viaduct's finished. Now I've got to lay the track bed. The track's laid in the tunnel but needs connecting, and the honeysuckle's starting to grow over the boxwork. This is the trial section of track that was laid with ballast. Got the walls in and some of the alpine plants. The 264 Stanier tank pulls a couple of coaches. This is followed by an 064 tank I built, pulling some goods trucks. The initial power supply installed was a radio-controlled throttle mounted on the wall of the house by the transformer. However, this proved unsatisfactory as the handheld control units had rechargeable batteries which would run out without any warning, and the throttle would be left wide open, and there were many crashes damaging the stock. Subsequently, the power was arranged with a constant DC supply to the area of the station, feeding to controllers. These were electronic based and were very unsatisfactory outside, so I converted to a traditional rheostat system. Sadly, some years after this day, Roger passed away.
Got to get these in the right order. Yeah. to take sunglasses off to see better.
This rubbercrete idea of yours is superb.
It sounds good in the tunnel.
It does, yeah.
It was a great opportunity to see Roger's hand-built and very expensive Cornish Riviera Express running on my tracks.
Yes, he's giving it a bit more room. She's dealt with that rise over there without any problem.
A bit of sacrilege having my 264 tank LMS following the Cornish Riviera, but it worked. It was time for Roger's little GWR Terrier to have a go.
I've tried to avoid it as much painting as I can.
Very difficult, isn't it? It matched. Painting, yeah, it's really hard. Henry did. No, he did all of it. But he met somebody down at my sister down.
As with any railway, the running is fraught with problems. Each year there are a number of dry soldered joints that need attending to. Various animals, probably squirrels, have torn up wiring and even at one point torn up some track. The weather has not been too bad for the ballast, but some has had to be relayed. The biggest problem has been contact problems within the locomotives, the odd wheel coming unscrewed, various derailments. The Hymek diesel made by Hojan, although a very good model, does tend to chew up nylon gears, and my cousin has kindly printed new gears for me. The railway now is getting ready for the next winter.